You know, I just don't care for people who can't never be wrong. I just don't. What's up, P-Hope family? It is your girl P-Hope, and I am back with another video. This is going to be the Belle Collectives Reunion Part 2, and we're just going to jump right on into it. And then I'm also going to conclude this review with an update on the next show that I will start reviewing, and my commentary on this whole Derek Jaxn situation. So anyway, let's jump into this Belle Collectives review. Now I remember telling y'all last week that I definitely forgot to talk about Egypt's fashions and Kaylin. Okay, so let me just give them their little props real quick. Egypt, I loved Egypt's dress. She had on this shimmery silver type of fitted dress, and then she had on a Gucci belt that went right under the breast line. And I thought it was really pretty, just overall really pretty, very classy. She had her hair up in a ponytail, and she was giving what she was supposed to give. And Kaylin was an absolute no for me. I didn't care for Kaylin's dress. I didn't understand the choker around her neck, and I felt like her makeup was a little drag queenish. You could definitely tell that she had fresh Botox in her lips, the way that she kept holding her lips. Kim, what is her name? Zolciak. Kim Zolciak showed us what that looks like when you first get Botox, and that was the lip that she was giving. She was giving real duck, honey, real Miss Affleck. And so yeah, no, I didn't care for Kaylin's look. So now let's go right into what they were talking about. So, child, you know I always be trying to figure out what's going on outside. This whole blogger situation that was going on last week. And so Kaylin is already sitting down on the couch, and she said, well, you know, the whole blogger thing was my idea. And Marie wants to know, who sent you? Who sent you to that blogger? And she said, I sent me to the blogger. And so at this point, Egypt is like, well, why would you do that? And she said, because I knew that Marie at some point was probably going to come for my neck. And so I ended up gathering information about Marie, and I also got some information about Letitia that I didn't ask about, but it was given to me. So I didn't take any information to the blogger. The blogger was the one telling me everything that was going on. And so Egypt is like, well, what exactly did you hear? And she was like, well, I'm not finna repeat what I heard because Marie ain't finna beat my ass. And she was like, well, it's already out in the blog, so you might as well just say it. So Kaylin says that what the bloggers told her was that Marie is a fraud. Marie is stealing federal money. She's stole PPE money. And, you know, she just around here getting over on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And Marie's rebuttal to that was pretty much like just saying, I've been in business for over 20 years and I am a government provider. So with that being said, the government has to audit my paperwork and my business. So don't you think that if I was doing something fraudulent or getting over on them in any type of way, wouldn't I be caught by now? Which, you know, was a very valid point. And, but there are definitely ways to also get around that. Now, me personally, do I feel like Marie could be a fraud or is doing anything fraudulent in her business? No, I don't. I think that I think Marie is legit. But also in the same breath, if it ends up eventually coming out that Marie is up to some shit that she ain't got no business being up to, I'm not gonna be surprised, only based off of Marie's personality and Marie's attitude. That's the only reason I wouldn't be shocked about it. It's just because you walk around with too much air in your chest, with too much pressure on your chest for the smallest stuff. And that just really, really irritates me and aggravates me about Marie. But yeah, so that was that's what Caitlyn said to clear up those rumors. So then, of course, Egypt wanted to know if Latrice and Antoinette had anything to do with this blogger as well. And Caitlyn said no. As a matter of fact, Latrice actually contacted me and told me, don't get yourself involved with these bloggers. It's not a good idea. And she said, but I went ahead and I did it anyway. And then Antoinette said, well, you know, you can also say out the horse's mouth, did I have anything to do with it? And Caitlyn said, no, Antoinette had absolutely nothing to do with it. Everything that went on was on me. Then Caitlyn goes on to say that what the blogger revealed about Letitia was that Glenn has an outside baby. Now, that's not surprising to us because if y'all remember earlier in the season, Latrice had already spoke on infidelity in their marriage. She did leave out the part about this man making another baby somewhere out here in the world, but the news wasn't surprising to any of us because she had infidelity in her marriage. Okay, so yeah, that's what the blogger revealed about Letitia. And so, of course, Letitia is through with Caitlyn because she said that Latrice and her had a conversation, and Latrice had already warned Letitia that this information was circulating. And then 2 days later, that's when it hit the blog that Glenn had an outside baby. And she said that Glenn was absolutely furious about this information, and it was just a whole bunch. So that's why Letitia is looking at Latrice a certain type of way. Now, since Caitlyn has finally came out and said that it was all on her, I don't know if Letitia is still looking at Latrice some type of way. But honestly, Letitia, if I was you, I wouldn't. I do feel like Caitlyn is telling the truth. I feel like, yeah, Caitlyn was looking for as much ammunition as she could come up with, because you're not finna embarrass her on the United States of OWN network. That's what you just not finna do. So whatever I can dig up on you, I'm gonna dig it. And with Letitia being your homegirl, I'm gonna dig up a little something on her too. Like, why not? Because it seems like y'all come as a pair. Because let's just be honest, Letitia is not really friends for real with Latrice and Antoinette. She's just getting to know them. So she feels like Marie is her real friend. So she's going to have Marie's back first and foremost. Like, that's just what that's going to be. And so I don't blame Caitlyn for digging up the ammunition that she dug up. But it does look a certain type of way for the blogger to go ahead and put all of this stuff out, which, don't get me wrong, I know you can't control what a blogger does, but it's just like, damn, girl. I think she put the nail in the coffin for herself as far as us seeing Caitlyn on season 2, because she just did too much. And like Marie said, you done defamed my character. So at this point, I hope you got receipts to back up all of this stuff that you putting out. The last thing about that scene is Antoinette asking Marie, so Marie, now that everything is out on the table, do you honestly still feel like Dr. Antoinette Lyles had something to do with this blogger situation and all of these rumors that are out about you? This was a yes or no question. And Marie's rebuttal was, all I can do is go by the receipts. And she said, okay, well, do the receipts have any of Antoinette Lyles' names on them? And again, that was a yes or no question. And Marie says, all I can do is go by the receipts. And at that moment, Egypt said, okay, well, we've got to move on. And that's the thing that I did not like about Egypt hosting. Now, I've seen a lot of y'all's comments and a lot of people saying that y'all didn't enjoy Egypt as a host. Me personally, I was okay with her being the host, but it irritated me that when Latrice, Antoinette, or Kaylin wanted to say something to the other side of the couch, it was pretty much, oh girl, we ain't got time to talk about that. But if Letitia or Marie or Tambra wanted to talk about something, she let them get it out and she made them girls answer the question. But Marie them was not made to answer no questions. It was just kind of glazed over like, okay, y'all, well, we got to move on. So that was the only thing that I didn't like about Egypt hosting. I felt like she had kind of picked a side. The next segment was them breaking down and start talking about their individual scenes. So Egypt focuses her attention on Marie, and she's asking what has been going on since the cameras went off. How is your relationship with your son? And Marie says, well, you know, me and Jerez are actually in a wonderful place. We are actually back to normal, and you know, she couldn't be happier about it. She said they don't work that out. And then y'all, here comes Cedric ass out on the couch. And I tell you what, Cedric definitely stole this episode. He definitely took over part 2 of the reunion, because I didn't realize how much of a character that Cedric really was until he sat his ass down on that couch. So he comes out and Egypt is like, hey Cedric, how you doing? And he said, I'm fine. You know, I'm good, Egypt. You know, I'm good. And you know, I'm a really big fan of yours. And she said, okay, well, thank you. And he said, yes, I am very happy to be here. And she said, okay, you know, good. Well, you know, let's move on. So I was just talking to Marie, and she was saying that her and Jerez are back in a good place. But what I want to know from you is, where do you step in at as far as your relationship with Jerez? Are you his biological father? No, I'm not Jerez's biological father. Okay, well, do you play a role as the stepfather? Do you step up? No, I am not a father figure to Jerez. Me and Marie have a very untraditional relationship. So I do not step in and play that father figure to Jerez. So at this point, we're all looking crazy because he used the word untraditional, number one, and then number two, you guys are married, but you don't play as a father figure to her children. So that was real confusing. And he broke it down to say that because he's not really in the home like that, he doesn't feel the need to play as a father figure to Jerez, because he feels like, you know, he's in and out so much that it just kind of doesn't make sense, number one. And number two, Jerez's biological father is involved in his life. So he lets his biological father handle all that. So then after he starts talking about this untraditional wedding or marriage, and Egypt said, okay, now I noticed you used the word untraditional relationship. So are you guys married or are you not married? Now, if y'all remember in the episode, Marie clearly told us that the timeline of their situation is they were married, then they separated, then they got married again. But Marie came back to say that, yes, they were married at one point. They did separate. They got back together and they were in the discussion and in the works of being married. But going back down the aisle never happened. So that's what that was. And so Egypt was like, oh, okay. And so then she gets to asking Cedric about, you know, so how did you deal with Marie being sick? And at this point, this is when Marie starts to get a little emotional or whatever. And because I think Egypt had actually asked, yeah, no, she did. She asked Cedric, you know, where was he when Marie wasn't feeling so well? Because all of that stemmed from Marie saying that Cedric travels a lot. You know, he likes to go out and do his thing. And so they were talking about him being in Aruba. And Marie said, well, you know, what time, you know, which trip to Aruba are you talking about? Because I already know how Cedric likes to get down when he goes out of town. Now, I don't know what that meant. I don't know if Cedric is one of those men that likes to go over to DR and let the ladies have their way with him. I don't know what that means. Like when she said, I know what he likes to do when he goes out of town. But I took that as some untraditional type of shit. You know, that's how I took that. And so she doesn't mind him being out. But what we wanted to know was, did you sit your ass down somewhere once you figured out that your wife was sick? And he said, oh, Marie can answer that. And she said, no, I want you to answer that question. And he said, Marie, you the headliner. You are the headliner. So you need to talk to Egypt and you need to and then so that's when Egypt interjected and was like, no, Cedric, I'm asking you. I want to hear out of your mouth, were you there for Marie when she got sick? Did you even know that she was sick? And he said, yes, I knew she was sick. And she said, okay, well, I want you to answer the question. And he said, all right. First of all, I want to thank God for being here today. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be this close to you, Marie, and looking at you. And you look beautiful. You look absolutely beautiful. And Egypt is like, Cedric, hello, we're over here and your ass is avoiding the question. So anyway, Cedric ass done gave a whole damn Easter speech before he answered the question. And he finally says, yes, I was there for Marie when she was sick. And Marie's face just balled up and threw itself in the trash at that point because it wasn't true. She said that Cedric was not there for her when she really needed him and when she was really sick. He was still pretty much out doing his thing. And I mean, we all knew that that was the answer that she was going to give when he was sitting here Harlem shaking and dancing and gyrating all around the damn question. Like, he couldn't answer the question to save his life. And obviously that is why they were married at one point in time, because neither one of them can just answer a straight damn question. Because when the girls were asking Marie specific questions, she couldn't answer them. And the same thing is going on with her damn ex-husband. We're asking you a specific question, sir, and you going all around the world and you still not giving us the answer. So that is what Cedric and Marie have in common, just in case anybody wanted to know. Now, at some point, Cedric did let us know that he didn't feel a whole bunch of responsibility to be in the home and to be that active husband that Marie should have needed him to be, because of the fact that Marie had Essie. And he goes on to say, you know, how can I play my part as a man when Essie was already in the picture before me and you even started dealing? And so that part was a little pearl clutching to everybody, because it's like, well, damn, just how involved is Essie in y'all's relationship? Because that's a lot. Like, so the way that they broke it down was that Essie is so involved in their relationship to the point where she literally knows each and every little microbial piece of their marriage. And she's very vocal about it. And we knew that because we saw how comfortable that Essie was in that scene to tell Cedric that he ain't shit, he ain't been around, and he needs to pack his shit up and get the hell on. So, you know, any friend that can talk to your husband or boyfriend or you just your person in general, anybody that feels comfortable enough to talk to your person like that, baby, that person, I don't even know what to call them. I don't even know what to call them. And so at this point, Egypt lets Cedric know that, well, you know, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Essie considers Marie her soulmate. And, you know, this threw a lot of people off, but for me, it didn't. Because I am one of those believers that feels like your soulmate does not have to be your significant other. Your soulmate, I actually have a soulmate that is a relative of mine. She's no longer with us. She just recently passed last year, but anybody that knows me know I always said that she was one of my soulmates. And so in life, in total, I have had three. You know, one of them is still alive. Two of my soulmates have passed on, but I still have one. And so, you know, it just depends on how you look at the definition of a soulmate. So, like, that whole comment never threw me off when Essie said that. But Egypt made sure that she got to the bottom of it. And so when Essie came out on the couch, Egypt was like, so Essie, you know, what is the relationship between you and Marie? Because, you know, you said in a confessional at one point that Marie was your soulmate. And she said, yes, she is. And she said, so what you're telling me is y'all's relationship goes beyond business? And she said, oh, yes, definitely. She said, so you have feelings for her more than just a business partner. She said, absolutely. I have way more feelings for her than just business. And she said, Marie is like a sister to me. And then Egypt was like, no, I'm saying more than even a sister. And she said, oh no, I'm a married woman. And I was like, okay, boom, there you have it. Essie is not out here bumping, clicking kitties with Miss Marie. She not out here putting a titty or two in her mouth, and they're not out here swapping toys with each other. Marie was married at one point, and now she out here dating and doing whatever, and possibly about to get back with Cedric country ass. And and Essie have her husband at home, probably halfway at home, because she's so attached to damn Marie. The last part of their scene was Egypt asking Cedric, now I'm pretty sure that you've been on Twitter and some of the other social media sites, and you can see that people are questioning your sexuality. So just for the record, you know, what is your sexual preference? And Cedric said, well, I don't have no Twitter, but I will say I love women. And Egypt said, all right, okay. Well, that cleared it up. Cedric is all about the ladies, okay? Point blank, period. She jumps over to Letitia. Letitia says that she is most definitely still interested in the Ferris Street project. You know, as I stated last week, she said that there's been several people outside of Jaxn that have reached out to her and that actually want to help her, collaborate with her, do whatever they can to get this Ferris Street project up and running. And at the end of this reunion, when they was asking Letitia, you know, what's next for her, she said that she is really still hoping that all 5 of the ladies can just still come together and do something with Ferris Street. She's not giving up on the Belle Collective project of Ferris Street. So if we get them coming back for a season 2, I'm pretty sure we will still hear Letitia talking about Ferris Street. Glenn comes out, and so when Glenn is out on the couch with Letitia, Egypt brings back up the situation about the outside baby. And she said, you know, Letitia has already let us know about the outside child or whatever, and says that, look, you got to understand, Me and this man have been together since high school. This is the man that took me to my prom. And now we are just, you know, we old and mature, and it just is what it is. And she said that she don't give a damn if they have to throw the marriage away. But what she will not do is give up on their friendship, because that's her best friend. It's been her best friend for decades at this point, and that's going to always be her best friend. So I didn't really know how to take that. I don't know if Glenn and Letitia are currently broken up and they're just trying to save face on this reunion or what. But I definitely understood her when she made that comment, because, you know, I've definitely been there before. I've definitely been in a situation where it's like, look, this relationship, I don't feel like it brings out the 100% best in either one of us. Or I might feel like you're not as happy as you should be with me. So it's okay to not be with me, but I still want the friendship. Like, you know, I'm okay with losing the relationship, but I certainly don't want to lose the friendship. So what you're saying is, a man can go out and do whatever he wants to do, but the woman can't. And that made Letitia say, well, look, you know, I'm not going to say that I've been an angel in this marriage. When I say that I stepped out and Glenn also stepped out, what I mean on my end was I was entertaining other men. I did not have a sexual relationship with any other man, but I definitely entertained. You know, I went on dates, I talked on the phone, I did whatever. And, you know, when Glenn found out about it, he was pretty much butthurt. But Glenn had already been out here throwing women leg back, making money. I mean, not making money. Well, hell, he could have been making money, making babies and doing whatever he wanted to do. But when he found out that Letitia was having conversation with other men, it just, you know, he couldn't handle that. So that's always been crazy to me. But the long and the short of that was Egypt saying, well, you know, why don't y'all just nip that in the bud by just don't do it? You know what I'm saying? Don't step outside of your relationship to talk, to flirt, to do anything, and then you don't have to worry about it. And so, of course, that was something that everybody on the stage could agree with. And, you know, Letitia was like, yeah, you preaching now, girl. They move over to Latrice. Egypt asked Latrice, so one of the things that the viewers want to know is Cliff the one that actually funded Goddess Lymphs to get off the ground and be what it is today? And she said, well, Zaddy, do you want to answer that? And he didn't have no problem doing it. And that's what I'm talking about. If somebody asks you a question, just answer it. Like, God dang. But anyway, so Cliff was like, no, I didn't have anything to do with getting Goddess Lymphs off the ground. You know, she had a vision. She went out there and she made it do what it do from the ground up. And Egypt was like, cool. So, you know, Latrice, you really are self-made. And he was like, hell yeah, my baby's self-made. And that's what I love about her, because she gonna always make $1 and turn it into $2. Like, that's just what she does. And I love that about her. And so I felt like that was a really sweet moment, and I enjoyed watching Cliff big up his wife like that. So then Egypt wanted to get into the whole age thing, and she was like, so, you know, we've already discovered that you guys are 20 years apart, but we don't know how old your wife is, or you really. So do you have any kids? And Cliff was like, yeah, I got 4 sons. He has 4 sons, and he also has a 16-year-old daughter. And so he was like, so Egypt said, well, how old are your kids? And then that's when Latrice said his sons are 28, 24, 22, and 21. And like I said, the daughter is 16. And so Egypt said, okay, well, are you close to any of his kids' age? And she said, kind of, sort of. Like, I like to play or pretend like I'm just some kind of young spring chicken. She was like, but I'm really old for real, for real. And Egypt was like, I don't know, girl, because, you know, you look really, really young in the face. But, you know, we still can't figure out the math, so we're going to let that be what it is. So the next thing she wants to know is, how did her and Cliff meet? She said they actually met at a bar. You know, she looked across the room, and she's always been attracted to guys with the light color eyes. She don't remember if his eyes were green that day or blue. But he was an older man with the light color eyes, and it just really caught her attention because she's always been into older men. And she said that she's always been attracted to older men because she felt like she's always been very mature, and she's always been a older soul. So she doesn't want to date people her age because they never understand her. And I believe that. I think that that was just an honest answer, because if y'all really pay attention to Latrice, she acts like a little old lady. Like, you know, if you didn't physically see her face, you would think that Latrice is at least in her, you know, on the lower end of the 40s. Either the high end of the 30s or the low end of the 40s. That is exactly how Latrice acts. And so, you know, it would make sense that she is attracted to Cliff. You know what I mean? And so she said that that's how they met. And of course, she said that they have been together for 10 years and they have been married for 5 years. So then Egypt wants to know, when is little Clifforella coming? And of course, the whole panel just thought that that was hilarious, that they would have a little Clifforella. And she said, well, you know, we've definitely been in the talks about little Clifforella, but at this particular stage of the game, we are just really working on getting, what is it called? Essentials, whatever the brand of her hair, the hairline that she wants to go global. You know, she's still really, really pushing that, and focusing on the Goddess Lengths hair. You know, she wants to grow Goddess Lengths even bigger and better than what it already is. And then she wants to get the essentials out and going into, you know, everybody's household pretty much. So Clifforella is in the talks, but she's not in the works. Okay. To Antoinette. Now, the only thing she wanted to ask Antoinette pretty much that stood out was, when Antoinette did her little staging thing at the house, why didn't we see Marie and Latrice? No, and Letitia. I always get the two loves mixed up, y'all. I'm sorry. But anyway, Antoinette said, well, clearly me and Marie were not in a good space, so it wouldn't have made sense for me to invite Marie to my home if I was doing a cleansing and doing a saging of bad energy. So, you know, that was pretty much all that was. Like, it wasn't no shade. It just wouldn't have made no sense, which was perfectly fine for me. And then I think Marie even made a comment in saying that, you know, she wouldn't have came anyway. And then with Letitia, she said that at that particular time, she didn't know where her and Letitia stood. She didn't know if they were friends, enemies, or somewhere in between. So she, again, because of what event she was having at her house, a cleansing of energy, she didn't want to invite Letitia because she didn't know what kind of energy Letitia was coming with. And what's the point of cleansing my home of negative energy if I'm going to bring somebody in my house that has negative energy? She said, so the people that got invited were people that she knew were going to come with the correct energy and the correct spirit. And so then, you know, Letitia kind of jumped in a little bit. Marie didn't really care because she actually agreed with Antoinette. Some of that, honey, this is the first time me and you done agreed on something. Like, you didn't want me there and I didn't want to be there. But, you know, Letitia felt some type of way about not getting invited because she said, look, yeah, you're right. I don't know what kind of space that we were in at that time, and I don't know what kind of space we in today because we have not made it to the point of a friendship. But I thought that we were building a friendship. Now listen, y'all. I never heard of the word friendship. But, you know, I guess that is more, that's like a new word for an associate. It's somebody that, you know, you can do business with. If I just gotta call you, I can call you. But you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if I'm having some type of event, I'm gonna make sure to at least send you the invite. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. Maybe that's what a friendship is. We're gonna need Letitia to break that down a little bit more for us. But yeah, she said, so we were in the middle of building a friendship, and so I thought I would have gotten an invite, but you know, it just is what it is. Letitia closed out her statement by saying, you know, I actually have never had anything really just against you, but I don't really know about you either. You saying that you don't know about me and know what kind of energy that I'm coming with. Well, to answer your question, I would definitely have been coming with the correct type of energy, knowing what kind of event you're having, number one, and number two, because we are trying to build this friendship. But what threw me off about you, Antoinette, was the fact that you sat up there and you flirted with my husband and you was flirting with Cliff. So at this point, the whole room looking stupid, because I'm like, what, Antoinette, girl? First of all, I didn't even know you was into no black man. So let's start right there, girl. But then much less, you up here flirting with a married man. Like, girl, what you doing? And Antoinette said, hold up. When the hell was I flirting with your husband? And she said, the night that she had her sipping seat over at Mint Dental, Letitia said she went and sat in the car. And for whatever reason, Glenn was not, you know, right behind her. And so, you know, she sat there for a little while and he never did come out. So she had to get back out of her car to go back in. When she went back in the building, she said that Antoinette was holding Glenn's hand and giving him a cup of Hennessy. And so she didn't speak on it then, but when they got in the car, Letitia asked about it, and Glenn said, yeah, she was holding my hand and she gave me this glass of Hennessy, and you know, it just didn't feel right. Now, I have already played the scenario out in my head, and I can see both sides of the coin. I can see walking in a building, seeing a young, attractive female holding my man's hand while handing him a glass of alcohol. And then when I asked my man about it, he's saying that he got the vibe that it was a flirt as well. So at first glance, I'm going with what my man's saying. Like, bitch, you sitting up here flirting with my man. But when I think of the caliber of a woman that she is, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to count that as a flirt. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. I have gotten caught in that situation. I have been accused of flirting with my friends before. And I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because with my friends that I'm comfortable with, I'm going to give you eye contact. 98% of the time, I'm going to be smiling at you. And I know how to smile with my eyes, or I can smile with my mouth, or I can smile with both. I can be giving you teeth and eyes, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what it is that we're talking about, or you know, what the topic is that's holding my attention. So, you know, I guess that does come across flirty. But me personally, I'm not taking it that way. You know what I'm saying? I know when I'm flirting with somebody. So the times that people have accused me of flirting, it wasn't accurate. But I don't be mad at them for saying that, because, you know, if somebody's saying something to you more than one time, then, bitch, I'm subject to believe that it's got to be true. So I'm not saying that I don't give off a flirty look, but what I'm telling you out of my mouth is I wasn't flirting, okay? Because what y'all got to understand, what I'm talking about is I have been accused of flirting with my female friends. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not homophobic. I love me some LGBT community, but am I a part of that community? No, I am not. She loves ping. Ping, ping, ping. I'm team ping, okay? Now, if I am a butt watcher, I think that's because I don't have one. So when I see a young lady with a cute butt, I'm not gonna stare at it, but I'm definitely gonna look at it. And I'm gonna give you your props. Some of that, damn bitch, you did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that. And I think that, like I said, I think that comes from the fact that I got a whole square back there. And I'm okay with my square. But getting back on the topic, like, I'm not flirting with no female. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's the situation like I just said, even if I'm giving you a compliment on the way that your body looks, I'm still not flirting with you when I say that. I'm just giving props where props are due. And that's just that. So, you know, for people to say that I'm flirty, I mean, you're not reading me correctly, but I'm not offended if you felt like I was flirting. Does that make sense? So I think that that's the situation that Antoinette was caught up in. I think she has naturally flirty eyes. She definitely has a flirty smile. I feel like me and Antoinette could be having a conversation right now. And just depending on the way that her eyes are dancing at me and the way that she's smiling at me, I could probably take that as a flirt. So, you know, to say that she was holding his hand while giving him a glass of Hennessy, yeah, that could definitely look like a flirt, and I can see how Glenn took it as a flirt. So I get it. But again, do I feel like Antoinette is guilty in this situation? No, I don't think so at all. And that's just me, because I've been in that situation, so I don't feel like that's what it was. And then Latrice, her own homegirl, you know, says that, yeah, it was a situation that went on between her and Cliff as well. Me and my husband got home, we talked about it, and then we took it back to Antoinette, and we also talked about it with her. It was a big misunderstanding, and we're all back on the same page, and we have moved on. So that is what also had me very much inclined to believe that Antoinette just gives off flirty. All of us give off something, and obviously flirty is what Antoinette gives off. I have a homegirl, I tell her all the time, like, you give off this most innocent look. Like, she looks so damn innocent, but, you know, she's definitely out here doing way more than your girl. Way more. So, it's just like, everybody has their certain look. And everybody, you know, has their thing about themselves. So, Antoinette, you just gonna have to take that with a grain of salt, honey. You just naturally flirty, and you're gonna have to be okay with that, all right? Okay. Now, let me tell y'all right quick. I'm upset that I didn't get to see Mel. I would have enjoyed to see Mel one last time, because y'all, like I said, I'm not in the rainbow community. But I love me some Mel. Mel is absolutely gorgeous. And I would have loved to see her slay this reunion. I don't care what y'all had to bring her out there on the couch to do. If she come back for season 2, y'all better have Mel out there on that damn couch, or I'm going to have a problem. So, anyway, they wrapped it up with just going to go around the platform and asking all the ladies what was next for them. Everybody pretty much had the same thing going on. Goddess Limps, Farrah Street, you know, Marie is just continuing to grow her business and hoping that, you know, these allegations that are out on her don't affect her business at all. Tambra, she was asking her, is it going to be acting or babies? Tambra said it's going to be a little bit of both. And I think that was everybody, because they ain't let Caitlyn come out there and say what the hell she got going on. So, yeah, that was the conclusion of Belle Collectives Reunion Part 2. Now, what I want to tell y'all is the next show that I will be reviewing from start to finish is Ready to Love. Like, y'all, I have definitely been watching this show from season 1. I love Tommy Miles being the host. I love how they have it set up. Now, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really enjoy this last season of it that just went off because they did it on a resort. So now they're going back to the original style that they were doing it, and they're going to be in Houston. So I'm ready for it. Your girl is here for it. And so if you're looking for those reviews, then definitely come back to my channel because we will be doing that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk on, because the man done went viral for the wrong reason. He done went viral for the wrong thing, honey. Mr. Derek Jaxn. Now, I don't necessarily want to speak on him because a million people have already done so. But I wanted to more so speak on the wife, because all of y'all are ragging and tagging this damn girl because of the way that she came on the national YouTubage of it all to have this discussion with her husband. Now, a lot of y'all were saying, oh, that's why he cheated. That's why he did what he did, because you look the way that you look. But ask yourself this. If you found out that your man was laying it low and spreading it wide with a plethora of hoes, okay? A plethora of hoes. And you upstairs chilling with your kids, trying to get them a nap, or trying to watch TV, or read a book, or working from home, whatever the hell you doing, you chilling. Your husband come tap you on the shoulder to say, hey, I need to go ahead and put a video out right now explaining myself and explaining our situation, and I need you to be sitting right by my side, holding my hand, doing this with me. Do you think that I'm about to call a makeup artist to come and beat my face for this nigga to talk about this shit? Do you think I'm about to go to the hairdresser or even pull out my good wig to talk about this shit? Do you think that I'm finna order some clothes, look in the closet and put on some clothes? Do you think I'm about to do any of that? Nigga, you better hope I brush my teeth for you to get up here and talk about this embarrassing ass shit. So I'm not understanding where any of y'all was coming from for jumping on this lady for looking so tired in this damn video. I'm not finna dress up for that. My husband already know what I look like. You know what I'm saying? And then for all of y'all that's saying, well, yeah, that's why he went out and cheated. Because look at you sitting up here looking like Molly the maid, and he out here fucking on all these bad bitches. Well, no, you right. He is out here fucking on these bad bitches. He fucking on these bitches that carry a Birkin bag and they beat in their face and they got on all the latest clothes and the this and the that and the third. Yeah, they match his persona and they match the way he look, but he ain't staying with they ass either. So riddle me that. These bitches spending thousands of dollars to look the way that they look, and he ain't staying with them either. So make it make sense. Make it make sense. So that's the only point of the whole Derek Jaxn situation that I wanted to put out there, because all of y'all that's jumping on this damn girl for looking tired on this video, like, she deserved to look tired. But you know why she looked tired? Because this nigga done drug her. That's what you look. That's the way that you look when a nigga drag you. You look tired. How would I let my husband drag me and then I come on the damn screen looking like Beyonce, happy and smiling and talking about, yeah, bitches, he's still right beside me. We still together. What's goody? What's goody? Me beating my face and putting on whatever y'all wanted her to have on is not going to keep this man from stepping outside the marriage again. Me letting y'all know what I look like when I get dressed up, that wasn't going to make the situation no better. Y'all was still going to let this bitch have it. So it really doesn't matter if she had... Bonnet gate doesn't matter. Like, so I want y'all to let that go. And if somebody can tell me a significant difference if she would have came on this screen, because I actually seen their wedding pictures. And I mean, just even looking at her in the video with her with the no bra on or whatever, I can tell that she's a very, very pretty girl. But I also looked at their wedding pictures, and when I tell you, she was gorgeous, gorgeous. She is what you call a natural beauty. So, and he knows this about her. And that's probably one of the things that attracted him to her to begin with. I like to be different. And I'm not saying that coming on the national whatever looking stupid or looking tired is being different. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I don't want to be cookie cutter. And she's obviously one of these females that don't want to be cookie cutter as well. She's going to do her. She's going to be who she is. So if it was Bonnetgate that day, then goddamn it was Bonnetgate. So my rebuttal to all of you who felt that she should have glammed herself up to come on that video with Derek Jaxn, please comment down below and let me know what would have been the difference in how that video went if she looked like Beyonce or if she looked like No Way. Please drop down in the comment section and argue with me about that. Argue with me about that. Thumbs me down about that, because I'm not seeing the point. Please make me understand the point. And if you're right, I ain't never got no problem giving nobody their props. But from the angle that I've looked at this story, I just don't see how beautifying herself would have made that video any better than what it was. Like, from start to finish, that video was humiliating. He was humiliated because he had gotten caught. She's humiliated because, you know, this man ain't never showed her. And now when he gets himself in boiling hot water, now he wants to hold my hand. Now he wants to bring me out for the world to see. Oh, okay. You want the world to see me? Well, this is what the fuck they about to get. They about to get this bonnet, and they about to get these 3 motherfucking beads on my sweater. So what's good?